Welcome to Michigan's WW1 Centennial News Report for December 2019. Michigan's WW1 Centennial. This is an overview of Michigan's WW1 Centennial from 2012 to 2019. The State Report for December 2019. On Saturday, December 14th at 1 p.m., there will be a World War I roundtable held at the Michigan Military Heritage Museum at 153 North Union Street in Grass Lake. It is being hosted by the museum, Michigan's World War I Centennial Commission, and also the World War I Historical Association. To find out more about Michigan's contribution to the First World War and Michigan's World War I Centennial events, visit ww1cc.org/Michigan. One century ago, December 1919. On December 10, 1919, in Oslo, Norway, President Woodrow Wilson of the United States of America is awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. Because of the stroke he suffered in October of 1919, he was unable to travel and would not receive his award until December 10, 1920. December 26, 1919, New York City, New York. Babe Ruth, the famous Boston Red Sox slugger and pitcher, was traded to the New York Yankees for $125,000. The man responsible for this deal was named T.L. Houston, who served with the 16th Regiment of Engineers from Detroit, Michigan. The deal would be announced on January 6, 1920. The Michigan World War I Centennial News Report was a video blog I used that would tell the story of Michigan's World War I Centennial, news events, and other happenings regarding the World War I Centennial. I chose as a theme song How Are You Going to Keep 'Em Down on the Farm After They've Been to Paris by James Europe because it sort of tells the story of World War I. Before World War I, most people never traveled more than 25 miles from their birthplace. But after World War I, they've been to Paris, which changed their life tremendously. And I chose James Europe because he was one of the best band leaders of the American Expeditionary Force in France. The World War I Centennial lasted from 2014 to 2019 and featured a number of events. Some were sponsored by the Centennial Commission and others were not. The Concours d'Elegance in Plymouth at St. John's featured the only World War I Cadillac to go overseas and come back. At the University of Michigan Museum of Modern Art, there was a poster collection called Mine More Coal, which featured World War I posters put on display by a doctoral student. At the Michigan Military Heritage Museum, we had an event which was called We Want You Over Here, which featured World War I music, snacks, and also World War I displays. They also had a World War I uniform collection of over 30 World War I original uniforms from 12 different countries. It was one of the most extensive uniform collections in the country. Also, the heavy metal band Sabaton was given a Certificate of Excellence and Challenge coins for their part in contributing to the World War I Centennial by playing World War I songs. Sabaton was given their award in Grand Rapids, along with their challenge coins. Meanwhile, the Hunter City's Hunter Memorial Award winner, Beaverton, Michigan, won their award for their World War I Monument, The Survivor. Susan Menengay from the National World War I Centennial Commission and Dennis Skupinski, chair of Michigan's World War I Centennial Commission, were present during the ceremony. Meanwhile, in East Lansing, Michigan, at Michigan State University, War and Speech, Propaganda, Patriotism, and Dissent in the Great War was a World War I artifact and poster exhibit. At the state capitol in Lansing, Michigan, in the state capitol rotunda, a World War I centennial ceremony was held just before Veterans Day, honoring those who served during the First World War. A number of state dignitaries were present. At Michigan Military Heritage Museum, 2 weeks later, Eugene Van Antwerp was honored. Eugene Van Antwerp was responsible for making November 11th a national holiday, first called Armistice Day and later changed to Veterans Day. We had 4 of his surviving children present. And throughout most of our events, the official band was the Dugouts, led by Tartanius Flynn. And we'd also like to thank the World War I Historical Association for their help. Michigan World War I Centennial Commission bill was signed into law by Governor Rick Snyder on July 13, 2017. The first meeting was December 14, 2017. The chairman was elected at that meeting, and it was Dennis Skupinski from Ann Arbor, Michigan. I'm Dennis Skupinski, and I started working on Michigan's World War I Centennial back in the spring of 2012. I started producing a monthly video called Michigan's World War I Centennial News Report. And each month we try to cover different topics related to Michigan's World War I Centennial. The first one was June 2012. And each month I wanted to produce something about Michigan's World War I Centennial, so that at the end people knew why Michigan needed a World War I Centennial Commission and why we needed to celebrate the World War I Centennial. I feel the best Michigan's World War I Centennial News Report was November of 2018, when we filmed a ceremony at the Rotunda at the Michigan State Capitol. Some of the things that we missed were I didn't cover conscientious objectors. I wanted to get and do a monthly report on that, but I didn't get a chance to. And also, something I found out near the end of the centennial was Hannah Howard Shaw. And she was the first woman who was awarded the Distinguished Service Medal, which is one of the highest military medals you can get with non-combat. And she was born in Massachusetts, but lived most of her life in Michigan. And she was an ordained minister, and also was big in the women's movement and also the peace movement. And she helped with the Women's War Committee, and that's why she was awarded the Distinguished Service Medal. And she is a graduate from Albion College, and they have a special building named after her and programs named after her. The Michigan's World War I Centennial website will be preserved in the Library of Congress. So most of the videos up until August of 2019 will be preserved with the Library of Congress archives. The ones after August 2019 will just simply be on YouTube, or I'll have it on another site somewhere attached to the World War I Centennial website. The story of Michigan's World War I Centennial Commission began back in the spring of 2012 when I went to the governor's office and I wanted to find out if the governor would appoint someone or appoint a commission, and also went to the Michigan Historic Commission to find out if there was an interest in creating a World War I Centennial Commission. The governor's office basically told me they were waiting for something from either the legislature or the Historical Commission. The Historical Commission was interested, but I didn't have a champion there, and basically it fell by the wayside. I started writing. I went to see Jim McConnell, the chairman of the 1812 bicentennial, and he gave me a number of ideas and a lot of templates to use. And so I submitted those to various members of the State Assembly and Senate without much success. We also went to the veterans groups, National Guard, without any success. Around 2015, I submitted paperwork to Senator Rebecca Warren for a World War I Centennial Commission. And we went back and forth, and finally I got involved with the National World War I Centennial Commission by the project manager from Pritzker Military Museum, Susan Menengay, and she helped me a lot get the attention of the senator and also her staff, And by 2017, we managed to get it through Senate, State Senate, and also the State Assembly. The governor signed the bill on July 13th, 2017, and we selected members of the commission, and our first meeting was December 14th, 2017, and that's when I was elected chairman. I'd like to talk about some of the WW1 Centennial events we had. The first was 100 Cities, 100 Memorials, which was won by Beaverton, Michigan. Beaverton, Michigan is in the central part of Michigan, and they won their award for restoring the WW1 monument, the Survivor. They held that ceremony at the end of June, and when it was about 95 degrees and very humid. The second event we had was over here, which is at Michigan Military Heritage Museum in Grass Lake, Michigan, which we had WW1 collectors, WW1 displays, and we opened the museum up for the whole weekend of WW1 Centennial events. The next event we had was Thursday, November 8th at the state capitol. We had a rotunda ceremony in which we had the lieutenant governor and a number of veterans organizations come in and speak and have a ceremony. And finally, the last event was on November 11th. We had a parade down in Detroit, which the WW1 Centennial participated in. Following Veterans Day, we also did something for Eugene Van Antwerp's family, who was a member of the 16th Engineers and later on became president of the Veterans of Foreign Wars, who managed to get President Roosevelt to sign a bill, him and California Representative Gerhardt, got through Congress to create November 11th as a national holiday, thus making Veterans Day a national holiday. So we had a ceremony honoring the family, and four members of his family, four children, actually attended along with their children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. And we got certificates from the state of Michigan, the governor, and also the mayor of Detroit. This is the last Michigan's WW1 Centennial News Report. And I want to thank everyone for watching, and also all the people that have helped me out during the years of producing this program.